needs for kids. Can't beat that.
No, you sure can't. And we are just about out of time. So we thank you for your calls, and now we're ready to go to Robin.
Time now for a very special check presentation. Joining me now is Steve Trout and Emerson Breeden from Food City. And we thank you for being here, and you've got something that I know I'm going to like. What do we have here?
Yeah, we got a check for $6,238.01, Robin, for the Food City Family Race night that we had back in late March here in Knoxville.
We like the looks of this, gentlemen. Thank you very much. As you mentioned, this was from race night. You had some big names out there, didn't you?
Sure did. We had Dale Earnhardt. That's the biggest name in racing, we think, and we're just glad to be a part of this worthy cause. We're fortunate in East Tennessee to have the Children's Hospital, and I think we're all proud of it, and we're just glad to be a part of it.
We certainly are glad you are a part of it, too. And this shows to me that people really care about our children. They care about East Tennessee, right?
Absolutely. I tell you, I had, well, it's a good experience, but an unfortunate experience. My oldest child was diagnosed with CF, and she spent about 2 weeks here at the hospital, and they did a great job, not just with her, but with us. Me and my wife, they helped us make it through it, so they did a great job, and I guess it was then talking to the people here, we thought, well, you know, they should get the proceeds from the family race night. So, you know, we had a great time doing it, and we're looking forward to doing it with them again next year.
We're looking forward to it, too, and I'm glad everything worked out for you and your family. Wonderful. Thanks so much, gentlemen. We certainly appreciate it. Let's check back into Kristen.
Thank you very much. Hey, folks, we got a little mathematical test to pass on to you. What's 12 times 12?
144.
And if we do that times 2, and if we do it times 2?
That would be 288.
Yeah, you had to think about it, didn't you? Folks, we got a great deal for you. If you can donate right now and make a pledge to give $12 to Children's Hospital each month, $12 for 12 months, that's $144. If you can do that, Goodies will match that dollar for dollar. So that $144 turns into $288.
But we're only going to keep it going for a minute.
Right.
You got to do it right now for a minute.
You got to call us now. And $12 a month, that's not a lot of money.
No.
And that's what people would spend on potato chips, candy, and gum,
Yeah,
probably.
don't go to the vending machine once
once a day.
Right, which would cut out about 3 or 4 for me. But
Well, they said they broke it down. It's about 40 cents a day.
yeah, think about
40
that.
cents a day. That's not much. But now the clock's ticking. We got to hear all these phones ringing. And again, we thank Goodies for their cooperation and support. But $12, and Goodies will match it. $12 a month.
Right. Here's something interesting. We did the Straight from the Heart promotion earlier. We got a call from a lady, folks from Sevierville, C.R. Walker and FM Merrill Enterprise. They donated $1,500. Whoa!
That's great.
$1,500. And because of the match, that turned into $3,000.
That's terrific.
That's the way to make your money grow.
I had a call from one of my listeners by the name of Sunshine.
Yes.
The infamous Sunshine.
Yeah, I know Sunshine.
He pledged $60 and challenged me, so I met that, and I'd like to challenge everybody else that's in the broadcast industry to do it. Do the 12 for 12 or
30
something.
seconds left in this, so call in right now, 544-1010. We actually have a competition over here between Tom and Jim. They actually have a running score as to who's getting
right?
more pledges, so call in.
Oh, Tom is ahead.
So we need to hear from you. Pick up the phone right now.
They're arguing over there. Look at that. An interesting story about Jim Oakes over there. Now, Jim, many, many years ago when I was the manager of a local restaurant, in college, Jim was my busboy. Do you know that? Yeah.
No.
Wow. True story.
Now he's working for you?
I taught him everything he knows. So, folks, call Jim right now. 544-1010 is the number. We're trying to get some 12 by 12s. $12 a month for 12 months equals $144. And if you'll do it right now, Goodies will match that, and that'll be $288.
That'll work right now. But now we're going to go back to Disney World and Mary Lou Retton and her fitness kids. And we'll be back here. Keep the phones ringing, though. We'll still be here answering them.
Bob, we'll do a Bob backflip as we go out. Here we go. Ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Comes a little later. Encouraging them to grasp objects and play with them helps develop that eye-hand coordination.
And that's really mental stimulation, too. Now, Dr. Doug, what about verbal stimulation? You always hear, as a pregnant woman, when I was pregnant, your baby can hear your voice. Can babies hear you talking?
You're right after birth. They hear a lot. They just don't understand. But that comes with time. Talking to your baby is really important. Babies need to hear speech before they can learn speech. Talking and singing is not only encourages them to express themselves, but it's also real soothing for babies. Reading later on is real important. Babies will begin to mimic the sounds that they hear in their environment. That's how they're going to express themselves. Maybe not first in words, but at least their moods and feelings.
That's right. Reading is a very big part of stimulating your baby. We do a lot of that in my home. Identifying the pictures in the story also helps children associate with the images.
Absolutely. That time spent between parent and child, it can't be replaced by anything. Stimulate your babies early and often. There's no substitute for an involved parent.
No question about that. And speaking of active parents, let's take a look at some of the examples we just talked about.
These are terrific kids that have joined us this morning,
Yes,
Mary Lou.
they are.
Look at what's going on over here.
Nicole,
and Nicole's really having fun. She's being cuddled by her mama. You can hear her talking to her mom. She's beginning to babble back, and she's hearing this stuff in her environment, and she's beginning to mimic those noises.
And there's something colorful in her mouth. Imagine that.
That's real important stimulation.
Jordan here. What do we have Jordan doing? Just touching and...
Jordan's starting to look at books. He's starting to look around at his environment, become interactive with those.
We do, and he is really showing us some of the visual and mental stimulation that we were talking about a little bit earlier.
Absolutely, encouraging him to grasp things, look around, enjoy his environment, and notice he's in Mom's lap.
Yes, so the best place to be. Now, Dr. Doug, can toys make a big difference in stimulating your child?
They sure can, Mary Lou, and all kinds of toys and all kinds of things in their environment. Here we have a nice crib set up with these really safe, warm, and colorful crib stimulators. And these are great toys. And look at the mobile, the shapes and the colors. And pretty soon we'll be able to stimulate this young lady to be turning over from front to back.
And she will eventually start grabbing for it, won't she?
Reaching, and that'll be the first stage in developing that eye-hand coordination.
So, Dr. Doug, then to quickly summarize our first topic of infant stimulation, there is physical stimulation by cuddling or touching and feeling objects, and mental stimulation with the eye contact, the depth perception, and visual association, and finally the verbal stimulation through talking, singing, and you don't have to sing that good either, and reading to your baby.
That's right, Mary Lou.
And parents need to remember how important it is to make time for your babies. Make the time. The first 2 years of life are when love, confidence, and self-esteem are established in children. Thank you, Dr. Doug. I just love talking to him. I learned so much. You know, in our next segment, we'll take a look of infant nutrition. Now, stick around for more of Mattel's Mary Lou's Fit Kids. Marie?
Very, very good. You look like you're having so much fun over there. For our next miracle story, I am pleased to welcome Ann Pryor, National Promotion and Public Relations Manager for Photography by JCPenney.
Right. Marie, nothing on earth is more dear or delightful than children. We speak from the joy of our own experience. Every day, we at Photography by JCPenney have the privilege of capturing children's precious smiles. When a child's life or well-being is threatened by illness or injury, we all want to reach out and help. Photography by JCPenney is glad to contribute $50,000 to support the Children's Miracle Network. Each year, the children's hospitals associated with CMN provide life-saving medical care for over 7 million children, regardless of their family's ability to pay. Photography by JCPenney thanks CMN for their important work. As we join hands to help our nation's children, all of us will have more reason to smile.
Well, we appreciate you so much. I want you to know my kids have been photographed at JCPenney.
Oh, great. It's our pleasure.
Our next story is about a little girl so precious and so priceless that her mother named her Precious. Watch this.
I don't see them yet. Precious is my heart. I had her since she was 2 months old, and I just love her. She's an inspiration, not only to me, I mean to everyone she comes in contact with.
When Rocky first adopted her, everybody just loved her. Everybody wanted to be a part of her life.
And when she turned 1, that's when she became ill and was admitted into the hospital with a fever. And they ended up keeping her, saying she had pneumonia. But before being discharged from the hospital, that's when we learned that she was HIV positive.
I thought that if I hug her anymore, like I can catch the disease. But I learned that the different kinds of ways that you can get HIV and AIDS. I love her. I can hug her. I can feed her, I can eat after.
Precious is unfortunate to have this virus that may or may not end her life someday.
Big breath. Good girl.
But she's still precious and she's still wonderful, and you can hold her hand and you can hug her and she's still like anybody else.
But your lungs sound clear.
The HIV virus can affect any person in many different ways. It can affect your heart. It can affect more than just your immune system, different organs of your body. And so one of the things that the clinic does is make sure they get referrals to other departments to make sure their hearts are okay, make sure that when they go to neurology that we're not missing any problems that might be associated with the brain or the spinal column.
So good. Thank you.
Precious looks great. Cognitive-wise, that her thinking and her language is, if anything, precocious.
What happens to food when you eat it? Do the digestive system.
Heart, teeth, esophagus, liver.
She's spelling, reading, recites everything. She's wonderful, different, above average for a 3-year-old.
Of my heart, always be.
She had an episode about a year ago or a year and a half ago where she seemed to have lost her balance and some of her motor skills and started stuttering.
And she's walking her toes. Good. Good.
But that resolved, and she appears to be very stable and doing quite well now. But usually when I see these children, it is depressing. It can be depressing, especially if they're not doing well from a neurologic or a general standpoint. But again, seeing Precious uplifts me.
We really have a full spectrum HIV research program here at Children's Research Institute that begins with basic scientists such as myself who are asking questions concerning the growth of the virus in specific kinds of cells. That extends to our clinic where we treat HIV-infected children.
I pray that someone will find a cure for AIDS. She's my sister, that's why I love her. If you keep praying, it will happen. It will make a miracle.
Sweet babies. Precious, I said, do you know how much you're loved? Huh? How much do you think you're loved?
A lot.
You are so cute, and you are such a great big sister. This is Shanita, and this is Precious, and we are so glad that you're here at CMN. You know what? You're a wonderful person to have on this show. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there watching us right now. So wave to them, say hi. Hi. And you know what? Your dollars can make such a difference in these lives. Tell me, how did Children's Hospital treat you and your sister here?
Well, I like the way they're finding a cure or doing research to find a cure for AIDS.
Mm-hmm. And aren't the doctors and the nurses great?
Yeah.
You know, I visit lots and lots of hospitals. I have to ask you a question. I hear you sing a song. Can you sing a song for me? Isn't there a song that she sings about Precious? Yeah. Oh, they told me you sing a song. The presentation?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look at me, as happy as I could be. I am a child of God, but did you know I am HIV? Hi, my name is Precious Renika Thomas. I am a special child. I am special for many good reasons. I am a child of God. My family loves me very much, and I'm a beautiful, proud African-American young lady, and I'm also special for a not so good reason. I am HIV positive. HIV is the virus that attacks the body immune system. It hurts the sickness fighting ability. To know me is to love me. Precious.
Aww. You are Precious. And you love her, don't you? Oh, I love you, Precious. You're an angel. Do you know that?
Yes.
I tell you, this is what CMN's about. Mary Lou, take it.
Thank you, Marie. Thank you so much. And Precious, you are precious. Hello, everyone again, and welcome back to Mary Lou's Fit Kids, brought to you by Mattel. Now, for our second segment, we'll be sharing valuable information with Dr. Doug Barrett from Children's Hospital at Shands Hospital at the University of Florida in Gainesville. Hello again, Dr. Doug.
Hello, Mary Lou. In our last segment, we covered a very important area
Yes,
of
we did.
infant stimulation, and we're moving on now to one of good nutrition. Poor nutrition leads to poor growth and development.
I do know that. And Dr. Doug, I know that everyone wants the best for their babies. Tell us where parents make mistakes.
Well, often they're just mistakes from misinformation, old wives' tales, if you will.
Oh, yes,
but in
I've heard
terms
them
of
all.
nutrition, Mary Lou, breastfeeding is really the best and the most natural way to feed babies. Not only is it the most nutritious, but it builds that all-important bonding between mother and baby.
Different. What is the difference between breast milk and formula?
Well, actually, the formulas that are produced today are really pretty much like breast milk. They're designed to mimic breast milk. I would just encourage parents out there to be careful about looking for added ingredients, to look for added salt and sugar and starches, and avoid those. Read the labels. Don't introduce whole milk before 1 year of age.
That's right.
Whole milk doesn't have very much iron, and it strains the kidneys a little bit.
Okay, Dr. Doug. Now, what are the proper guidelines for weaning your baby and then moving them to solid foods? This is a big question for me.
Right. Most of the time, bottle-fed babies can be weaned to solid foods around 4 months of age. Breastfed babies a little later, maybe 6 months of age. Wean first with cereals, particularly the flake cereals, like rice cereal works as well.
Oh, yes, we have rice cereal everywhere in our house.
Mashing bananas and beginning to use that spoon, getting the child used to the spoon is important. And then introduce new solid foods one at a time.
One at a time. What about commercial baby food? We all wonder about that.
Well, I think it's fine. It's a little expensive. You
Yes.
have to be careful and be selective. Read the labels. Be sure to avoid added sugar, added salt. It's actually a terrific idea to make your own pureed foods. Use your blender at home. Add some fruit, puree some vegetables. Introduce junior foods with a little bit of texture to them at about 8 months of age when children can begin to chew. Finger foods work good in 8 to 12 months
They love
of
to
age.
feed themselves, too.
Exactly. About 8 months, they'll make this pincer grasp with their fingers, and they'll be able to
tweezers.
eat crackers and Cheerios. This makes eating fun, even for the finicky eater.
Yes.
Real food, that is table food, and whole milk, again, ought to be introduced at about 1 year of age. And be sure that they're served in small little bites so the children can chew them easily.
Definitely, because they hardly have very few teeth at that age. In fact, over here we have some moms making their own baby food with a food processor. It's really easy to do.
There's really nothing easier, nothing better, and nothing less expensive. Good ingredients. They've got some nice vegetables there, some fruits. And interestingly, this is a good time when the kids can get involved in role-playing, learning how to make food, and it develops good eating habits,
It is.
Mary Lou.
And there's no need to add salt, add sugar. The babies don't need that.
Absolutely. The natural stuff is great.
You know, you mentioned that healthy eating habits really are the mistakes that parents can make. Can they make mistakes when they feed their children?
Really, there are just a few mistakes. Crying is an important one. Remember that crying does not always mean that your baby's hungry. In fact, it's just a way that babies can communicate with us. Don't force or overfeed a baby. Remember that.
I'm guilty of that.
They don't always have to finish that bottle, Mary Lou. They'll stop drinking when they get full.
Okay.
And don't fall victim to the myth of the clean plate club.
Oh, gosh.
They don't always have to finish that meal. Remember, they need child-sized portions.
Yes, they're babies. They need small portions. Well, Dr. Doug, what do you suggest to the parents if they have that finicky eater?
Well, finicky is actually kind of an interesting thing. Appetite changes over their development are really quite normal. It's a normal part of growth and development. Forcing a child to eat everything is bad, and it can lead to emotional problems later on. In fact, even eating disorders.
Wow.
So be considerate as a parent and be flexible with your diet.
That's great advice. Well, you know, we are almost out of time. Dr. Doug, let's summarize a little bit. Breastfeeding is best, but you can mimic with formula.
Absolutely.
Now, thank you, Dr. Doug, so much. I just love having him. Will you come home with me? Just stay with us, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back in a few minutes with our next segment of Mary Lou's Fit Kids, where we will talk about the how and whens of walking and talking in children's physical development. Now to you, Merlin.
Thank you, Mary Lou. And if only we could get Mary Lou excited, we'd be in great shape. Children's Miracle Network has two missions, to raise funds and awareness for children's hospitals. John, please welcome a new sponsor that is helping CMN do both. From Carmike Cinemas, Ken Lehman, Northeast Division Manager.
Yes, indeed. We're standing right here, and Carmike has become the #1 company. They have more screens than anybody else. Ken, that's very exciting. You're like a family business, and I understand we have a tape to see?
Yes, we do. And Carmike Cinemas is tremendously proud to be associated. This is our first year with the Children's Miracle Network.
Well, we're proud to have you. Let's take a look at that tape, huh?
We all have our heroes. You know, someone we look up to. want to tell you about a hero of mine. His name is Jacob Hansen.
At 9, he was playing baseball like other children. At 10, he was fighting for his life. Jacob's heart had been attacked by a virus, causing the heart to grow uncontrollably. Doctors gave Jacob no chance of survival. He needed a new heart now.
And somebody else, maybe, I don't know who, had to die for it.
At 3 a.m., Jacob went into surgery at a Children's Miracle Network member hospital. After 6 hours in the operating room, Jacob received his new heart.
It's very much like having a newborn child, and this is sort of his rebirth.
Maybe somebody was ready, and God said, well, I think I'll give Jacob a second chance here, and he did, and, you know, I'm really thankful.
That's what real champions are made of.
Be a champion for kids in your neighborhood. Watch CMN Champions live from Walt Disney World.
Well, now I understand that piece of videotape, that film that we just saw, is being shown on all the screens, 2,500 screens.
2,500 screens across the country.
That's wonderful. And you've been collecting donations through canisters and
Canisters and selling the Children's Miracle Network balloons.
And how's that gone for your first year?
Very well. We're very proud to have a check to present to you for
Whoa!
$250,000.
$250,000. Carmike, that is wonderful. Thank you, Ken. Thank you very, very much. Remember, folks, when you go out and see a film at a Carmike theater, there's going to be a canister there. You're going to be able to help the Children's Miracle Network. Do it, please. Children's Miracle Network is helping kids in your community. So is Carmike. Thanks, Ken. We'll see you later on, sir. All right, back to you, Merlin.
Thank you, John. Now to recognize one of CMN's biggest supporters, News America FSI. For 9 years now, News America has published a coupon insert. It was in your paper this morning. Don't throw it away, because it's got some wonderful coupons in there from our sponsors. You can take those coupons, get great products, save yourself some money, and help the kids at the same time. They do a beautiful job every year. So, John, please welcome Jim Kemp, Vice President of News America.
Hey, Jim, that's quite an ad you have in your hand there. You want to tell us about it?
Sure, John. News America is the largest producer of coupon inserts in the world, actually. And this Sunday you'll find over $50 worth of savings in this coupon insert. And we would encourage all of the people that are watching and listening today to go out and use those coupons and help make Children's Miracle Network even more of a success than it is.
Well, fantastic. So everybody out there, you heard that. In your paper right now is $50 off of stuff. And you can help the kids through the Children's Miracle Network Hospital. So look in that paper and grab a hold of this. Merlin?
Another news sponsor giving CMN a strong show support is Pillsbury. John, please give a warm welcome to John Shomo, Brand Communications Manager.
Well, John, now you have something here as well. Here, let me hold this up for you. Okay. And is this in the paper?
No, it's not. That's for the broadcast.
Pardon me, I was mistaken. Now, so tell me about your efforts. Tell me what's going on there.
Well, John, as you know, this is the first year that Pillsbury has been involved in the Children's Miracle Network. Right. And it represents a real special opportunity for our company to give back something to those families and children who are so loyal to our brands. There are retailers all across the United States currently featuring our branded cake mixes and frosting products. And we want consumers to know that if they buy that product, that their purchase will go towards their local Children's Miracle Network hospital.
Well, fantastic. Now, you have something else in your hand there. Can we talk about that?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
It gives me great pleasure to present to the Children's Miracle Network a check from Pillsbury for $300,000.
Oh, God, thank you. Thank you very, very much. And thank you, folks out there. Remember, when you buy these products, you're helping kids. So get out there, get a hold of these products, and help Pillsbury help kids. They may be your kids. Merlin?
Right, John. Whitehall Robbins Healthcare and its brand Advil are back for another year of support. From Whitehall Robbins Healthcare, John, please say hello to Brian Hodis, Vice President, Sales and Operations.
Well, now, let me see. You have a tall check there. Tell me how things have been going.
Hi, John. I'm here with Whitehall Robbins Healthcare, the maker of Advil. Advil, cold and sinus, and Robitussin. We are proud to be back for the 8th consecutive year in support of the Children's Miracle Network. We are committed and dedicated to providing quality healthcare products and salute CMN for their dedication in providing support for their children as well. We have had just an outstanding year this year. Yeah. We launched a national CMN awareness campaign for awareness for the Children's Miracle Network and solicited the support of physicians across the U.S. in distributing informational material on Advil as well as money-saving coupons. In fact, in January, we delivered a coupon directly to our consumers, saving them money, and in turn, providing support to the Children's Miracle Network.
Great. And what are you leaning on here?
Well, John, I'm leaning on a check, and what I'd like to do is present this in the name of Whitehall Robins and to benefit the Children's Miracle Network for $300,000.
Whoa! That is wonderful. Thank you very, very much. Oh, you know what that means? I think it means we have a total coming up on the tote board. In Austin, Texas, $510,273. Yay, Austin! Oh, that's fantastic. And thank you, Whitehall Robins. We really, really appreciate it very, very much. Now, I think we're going to go over there to Marie. Are we going to you, Marie?
Yes,
Isn't this great?
It's fantastic. I'm here with my buddy. Yes, we're here again. Can you believe it?
After
Carl
5 years.
Weiss, Vice President of Sales at Kids 2.
It's such a pleasure to be here, and I'm so excited to have heard what Mary Lou and Dr. Doug said about fitness and early learning. Kids 2 slogan is learning starts at birth, and we've got all of these infant development toys. And look, I've got a Discovery Buddy here, and so visually the baby can see all of the high contrast, and he makes noises and squeaks.
You know, you have as much energy as Mary Lou over there.
Oh, well, it's contagious.
It is. Well, we appreciate all that you do for the kids, I'll tell you.
Well, people's support of these toys make it possible for Kids 2 to support Children's Miracle Network, and we hope...
Its marriage license in 1960.